Hey everybody, this is Grace. And in this video, I'm going to talk about, the people who use and abuse. That's what we used to call it, use and abuse. These days they just say narcissist or narcissistic abuse. Toxic people. I think that replaced toxic people. Whatever it is, these are bad. These are people who do people wrong. In this one, I'm talking about people who do that whole thing of using people for their own benefit. Use and abuse. And then they do the whole thing of playing the victim, blaming the victim, accusing the victim of what they did, projection. Oh my goodness, so many things, gaslighting, all that. And how we feel about it, those of us who are their victims. Okay, now I'm going to say up front, this is not any kind of counseling advice, none of it. These are simply my opinions. Even if it sounds like I'm saying you, it's not talking about you. It's just me stating my opinions, and that's how I'm going to do it. Like I might say, and we shouldn't, doesn't mean you. It's not advice. It's not counseling. It's nothing. Because, I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into things that some of us probably maybe had learned. Let's say, I'm talking to Christians here. Or anybody, okay, that you were raised with this thought of that you forgive, about forgiveness, and this thought of pray for your enemies. And I think many of us probably know why that was brought up recently, and might have been a reminder to some of us, who said it and why. If you watch news channels that actually give you the news and not just what they want you to hear, you may know the reference. Yeah, you got that right. I'm an independent. Remember that. Oh, and one other thing. If I start giggling too much, it's because I'm starting to finally feel better. After 2 weeks ago, yesterday, I'd fallen really bad and hurt my left knee. Have not been myself since. Kind of just blawed out. Not depressed, but just, so I'm kind of getting my sense of humor and getting myself back, but also because of this topic, and I hear my attitude coming back thick. Really, and it should, in a way. But, the whole thing of praying for your enemies, and, okay, I'm going to give it a little thing, what else is going on. There was that, and I thought to myself, I remember something about that. It's been so long since I even why am I doubling it? Thought about it. Pray for your enemies. And I do remember that it's a lesson when I was younger, in church. But then after that, yesterday, that was then yesterday, I was getting on Facebook, and I was on my desk, so I was on my desktop computer, and I was getting on Facebook, and I was clicking fast, but the computer kind of paused, and I saw this, I guess you would call it a meme, about questioning, how do you pray for your enemies? And I thought, that's a good question. Really, it's a good question. How do you pray for your enemies? Okay, and there's not only how do you pray for your enemies, but why would you? And like I said, I was born and raised Christian, or did I say that? Yeah. And I am Christian. I'm a scientist, yet I'm also Christian. Some people believe, oh, you can't be both. Yes, you can. And stop all that crap, This attitude, I don't know what it is. Maybe it was too many days on pain medication. Oh, my goodness, I was in pain. And Benadryl on top of it. Oh, my goodness. I'm highly sensitive to medication, so... Anyway, if I got an attitude, But, by the way, the pain medications, Tylenol, and then after that, I'm doing Advil. So no hard drugs for me. I'm too sensitive to medications. Any of them would. The last time I ever was on a pain medication, even when I had tooth. Anyway, I am telling you, I'm not here yet. God. Oh boy, it's been rough last 2 weeks. Oh, has it ever? But I want to have this attitude, because I think I need to have this attitude here about these jerks, these total asses, these low life. And low life is not the same as low class. It's low life. Okay, I have two of them who apparently thought that they wanted to become my enemy. They're not connected to one another. They're not connected to me. And they don't only do it to me, they do it to other people. And basically, let me tell the story. One of them was 2 years ago. The other one is about a year ago, maybe even longer. I really don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I know it's been at least that length of time for both. But these are the types who are, and how many videos have I done on this topic? Copycats. These are people who do not have a brain that a creative mind that can come up with their own things. So they have to steal it from somebody else. Steal their ideas. Copycats. They take it as if they're their own, their own. And I don't know if I would call one of them charismatic. I don't think I would call either one of them charismatic. But they have a way. I think it kind of tends to lean toward the histrionic, narcissistic, histrionic, sadistic. I call it the dramatic dark triad. Yeah, I coined that. But they're going to steal it. That's what they do. But yeah, I think it leans toward that kind of behavior. Now, of course, you do know there is a dark triad. I did not coin that one. But I'm doing this on purpose. And I'm also going to do another one on purpose. Okay, these are people who, like I said, they steal your ideas. They, like I said, you're any of that doesn't mean you. But they steal them on other people. They just go around taking everything from other people, or stealing what the concept the person's talking about, the topic, because they're not creative. They're not that smart. The only thing that they're smart about is they might have one. I've said this before many times, and it's true. They might have one area that it's their job, and they have to focus so much on that. They might be a little bit on the workaholic side, and my experience is usually workaholics are kind of rather narcissistic. Anyway, just my opinions. Remember, read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. But they're asses. That's all there is to it. They take things. And then, no, it's not. Don't even come this. People still doing this. Come with this. But isn't it flattering? No, it's not flattering. Somebody loves your sofa and they decide they're going to steal it. Is that flattering because they liked your sofa? It's the same thing with ideas. No. And of course, these are people who wind up being more popular because they steal everything. Okay? Now, maybe you figured out I'm talking about YouTube. Oh yes, 2 people had decided they're going to be my best enemies. I wanted to say, you're just pieces of shit, really. Well, I should not have said that. That's how I see it. You're P.O.S.'s. Seriously, they are, in my view. And I have been trying to stop myself from thinking this way, and I'm going to get to that. But they are. They're low lives. I'm not a person who likes to name call, but it's the truth. Okay? People who do that is pure evil, or just, like I said, pieces of shit. How can anybody think, okay, I'm going to just listen to this. Now listen to this. I'm going to take from this one woman, I'm going to go back and watch her close to 1,000 videos. I'm going to watch them and take little pieces out of them. And I like when people go back and watch my videos. So I'm not talking about those of you, and you usually let me know. This one didn't. Until she took little pieces about my identity, my person, me, my person, took those things and made them her own. Can you believe this crap? She's my age. She has no personality herself. She, no identity. She has to go and steal somebody else's identity. Yes, this is the story of my life. Yes, I've seen these too many in my life. But my goodness, I'm so tired of these POSs. Seriously, this is the most animated y'all have ever seen me. I'm telling you, it's these pills. It's gotta be. I'm not ODing. I gotta take less, actually. So, Okay, not only did she do that to me, seriously, she did this to a woman who is young enough to be both of our daughters. Okay, our adult daughters, or old enough to be, I guess you'd say. But really, she did worse. I mean, I don't know if you call it worse or what, abuse is abuse. She stole this young woman's persona, or persona, wherever you live, tomato, tomato. She did. The other woman, the young woman, she's a cap wearer type, and I'm not. So we're very opposite on that. But she stole the little mantra, and that younger woman has that mantra mentality, but she makes up some of her own. Think about this. So or she repeats some, and this woman who's my age, the abusive woman, she would take those, whatever one sounded good. This is just sickening. I am so sick of this in my life, seeing people who do that. And I've wondered about her goals. What is her purpose? Besides, building a channel, I've seen people do this, not just to me. I'm pointing this out. This is not just to me in any of this. I've seen people do that. They steal from other people, build their channels this way. And they just keep doing it. They don't stop. They just keep doing it. They don't care. This one, I think it's more of she's trying to prove to the world she can say and do whatever she wants. It's woman my age. And they can't stop her. She's shaking her head. By the way, she's white like me. Yeah, she's my age. So there's no kind of prejudice or sexism, ageism, classism, whatever. No, there's none of that there. It's the woman is a bitch. And so is the man, for that matter. I call both of them equal opportunity. You're being a bitch, you're a bitch. But she is. She's going to prove to the world. You can see her waving her hair back that she can behave and be what she wants to be. There are consequences to actions. There's always consequences to actions or inactions. And I'm not saying, I'm talking about legally. Nobody should be doing anything illegal or inciting any riot or anything like that. Why are these people all of a sudden leaving around me? No. But yeah, you got consequences. And, some people might out you, especially if they have receipts. What they call these days receipts and witnesses. But it's just amazing. I can't say it's amazing. I've seen this all my life. And people who they just can't see that they're wrong. And then plus they're self-righteous. That's what the video I was going to talk about in the first place, is self-righteous people. What it really is in the case, they're self-righteous, but they don't have anything to really back it up. Does that sound kind of a little bit narcissistic, that behavior? Yes, it does. But they twist it in their minds. The people who are doing this type, where they steal other people's ideas, is because, for one thing, they feel like they could do it better. Of course they're better. You see me having some kind of histrionic reaction myself. Of course they're better. To them, they're better. Okay, and they justify it in their heads as if they need to. I don't think they really care at all, period. But maybe somewhere in there they try to justify their reasoning, or to be so self-righteous and that they could do it better, so they might as well steal it and make something real out of it, or to show the person that you're not quite doing it right, so I'm going to show you how to do it. That kind of self-righteous bitch, male or female. So what they do is they build a case in their minds, and then they'll do this is on YouTube. They'll build a case by making videos, not really pointing toward anybody in specific, although they will. Some of them will. They'll point out somebody who they think is all wrong. Okay, the two that are doing, like I said, that I'm one of their people they're trying to make enemies out of, or they want to be my enemy. I'm not going to say I'm their victim, because I'm not. I just think, well, what can you say? They stole my ideas. Am I going to admit to being their victim? Or just as I'm doing right now? About to out them. I'm getting really close to outing these two bitches. One male, one female. Anyway, they're low life. They're low life. They're pieces of shit, like I said. And what they do is they build their cases against the other person. They build their cases to say that there's no way that anybody could accuse them of being narcissistic or being abusive, being a toxic person, being anything bad. That they build such a case. They will make video out of video, and that's when you start to know they're getting worried. You have, a lot of the people that they've attacked that I've seen, I know, they have receipts. They have witnessed. One of them right here, me. That's just one of them. And of course, the ones who, since these two are doing it against me also, I have receipts. Oh, yeah. And I have witnesses. Yeah. So like I said, they build a case against, to build up to where no way could anybody ever think that they are the abusive person. Okay, nobody, no. But they can, because you're not that good. And they also build up to say stuff like, anybody who would go against what I have to say, they're just haters. They're just haters. They love that word, just. To try to totally minimize the other people. Those are the victims. In these cases, the ones they're minimizing are the victims. Okay, and these two for me, like I said, they're P.O.S.s, and they're just abusive people. One of them should really know better. The other one's just a ditz. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? Okay. You may never hear me talk like this again. I do think it's this medication stuff. Too much pain, 2 weeks full of it. And just now starting to feel a little better, and trying to wean off of medication, but woke up this morning hurting really bad. So, anyway, what I want to do, like I was saying earlier, that I said in the video before, I want to coin this the dramatic dark triad and the dramatic dark tetrad, and that I was doing it on purpose, and I was kind of making myself laugh, and that's because I want to see how long it takes them to steal that. Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, you can just say anything. You can mispronounce a word, like I have said since I was, I don't know, really young, that certain people like this, like you would say, they're kind of wired differently. But I would say they're differently wired. Yeah. This is the type that anything so petty, so little, but it's that person, the one they're wanting to be, enemies with, that they feel that they are self-righteous and they are better and they should correct this person, or they should steal from this person, and they should, do everything against, and then say they're actually the ones doing it. Oh, boy. Yeah, they will do that. So here's another one. I want to see. And you say, well, Grace, they're listening to all of this. They wouldn't do that. Now that you've stated it this way. Want to bet? Want to bet. I don't bet. Anyway, to move on. What it is I want to say is, these are people, like I was saying, they build their cases against the other people, to for themselves, build these cases up, make it seem like, oh, you can go back to this reference, this video over here, stating that, yeah, she's going to do this, or and they don't say my name, they don't say any of their victims' names, except, like I said, some of them, they just flat out put them up on there and say, hey, I'm going to talk bad about this person or that person or that person. Wow, they have nerve. But anyway, they're building these cases, and the way I was looking at it today is, they paint these pictures, and I was thinking, they paint it, they frame it, and they hang it on the wall. Really think about that. Go into deep thought on that one. They paint it, they frame it, and they hang it on the wall. Anyway, okay, I'm kind of wonder if I'm actually going to put this video up. I'm serious. I've been in, like I said, painting for 2 weeks. And I don't need an excuse. This is really how I feel. When I saw something recently that by one of them, I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't watch their channels. I've disassociated from the disordered people. And you know, there's a reference to that on Facebook, since I was talking about Facebook, and it's been around for a while. But yeah, disengaging from the disordered. And I'm not saying they're disordered. I'm not going to diagnose them. But if I did, let's just call them toxic people. Very toxic people. Very toxic. And they seem so, really, to their audience. I can see it. The audience would think, oh, they're great. They're wonderful. This. One of them, no, because, wow. I don't know what to say about that, but anyway. But this is, I saw these things recently. I don't watch your channels. I've, walked away from. I'll check in every blue moon to see, are they still doing it? Are they still that low life scum, the P.O.S.s? But, yeah, they just don't change their spots. Oh, come on. Now, after having said all that, with that whole thing I said earlier about praying for your enemies, last night whenever I was really just shaking my head, seriously, at one of them, shaking my head because I checked in and saw, shaking my head, yeah, I can't say that enough, rolling my eyes, that thing came up, that thing popped up right there, pray for your enemies. And I kind of looked that up. I looked it up. I did. More than once. Online. I don't really trust stuff I read or watch online, but I did. And what was it? Matthew 5:43 to 40-something. 49, I don't know. And there's that, and then there's 2 Timothy 3. I told the story about 2 Timothy 3 and me. It happened a couple years ago or so. But it really made me think, I've got this... I wouldn't even call it anger. I would call it disgust. Because they've been doing this for so long, not just to me, to anybody. They're not going to just do it with anybody. Man, if they see that they can steal people's ideas, and because, they're so much more professional and they're so much more better speaker than Grace. Well, anybody is. For that matter. Shit. But yeah, because they're so self-righteous and they can find reasons why it's okay to do to anybody. And then to abuse people, to just, wow. Anyway, but really, I'm thinking about this and thinking, yeah, there needs to be that. There needs to be that time for me to pray for them. Seriously. And, what was happened in their lives to them. And I can't even say I don't feel empathy, because I wouldn't wish anything anything bad on even, my worst enemies, and they have quickly become my 2 worst enemies. I wouldn't wish anything bad on them, because, I've seen that happen. I've seen bad karma catch up with people, like that, and really bad karma catch up with them. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I feel empathy. I don't think anybody should have to be put through any kind of abuse. But, there's also that of forgiving the child there must have been that was really abused, or somehow to mold into this. Many of us had been abused, and we didn't mold this way. I remember saying that. I've said it on videos when I was a child. I looked around and said, I don't understand it. I don't get a child. It's child. Okay? Not a teenager, a young child. And thinking, what is it that happens to people? They could be born and raised in the same family, and one's good and one's just pure hell, pure evil. And some would say it's just pure that they've been very abused, and decided the best way to behave is like their abuser. And some of them say they were spoiled rotten bitches. Well, I don't call children bitches, but adults now. These 2, yeah, they fit that. I don't know what their childhood was like. But how would I pray for them? Why would I pray for them? Again, ask this question, but I do believe in this. I do believe pray for your enemies. Yeah, not going to be easy. But, you know, and then anyway, I read some more on it. I don't know who wrote this, why they wrote it. I don't remember what website it was on, but I think if you search it about pray for your enemies, and you might find it and run across it. But basically, some part of it I felt like, no, this a little bit has a little bit too much anger in it. To basically pray for them that they'll have a situation that'll come up that will knock them down. You know, bad karma, like people say. Wow, whoa. Are we having a freaking earthquake here? Just the wind. That was bad. My whole SUV, it's a SUV, started moving. Real life happens. But anyway, to basically that they would have a situation where they were knocked down so far that the only way up was to go through Jesus. So, you know, be lifted by Jesus. And it still seemed to be a bit of, you know, vindictiveness and all that. I don't know. So I have to think about this. I have to really think about it. And it's supposed to be good for you, for your soul. What do you think? I've been out sitting outside, and of course my allergies are... I'm not going to take any more Benadryl. Oh my God. But anyway, what do you think? I'm thinking myself, you know, I do, you know, I've seen one of them, the man, he's been doing it for at least around 2 years, and he knows who he is, and he's watching my video right now. And then there's the woman, and she is too. And you two, I'm not watching you anymore. Y'all might as well just toddle off. And, you know, shoot fly, don't bother me. But, yeah. I want to get to that point where I can say that, where, you know, it's like, what happened to you to make you like this? Seriously. And to forgive, no, I'm not sure about forgiving, but yeah, that's supposed to be good for your soul too, good for you. To forgive them and, you know, pray for them, forgive them, hope, leave it in God's hands to do whatever and just walk away and let it go. That's what I'm going to hope to get to soon. Anyway, I think I've written, somebody left me a comment. It was about one of my videos. It says, nice read. It wasn't anything to read. But anyway, I just had to throw that last one in there. I'll talk to you on another video. Leave a comment below if you feel comfortable. Thank you. Bye.